Hello everyone and welcome to Mountain Lake Journal. I'm Tom Halleck. This week, what's being hailed as a milestone in building the North Country's workforce for the 21st century.
Three, two, one.
Clinton Community College has broken ground on its new Institute for Advanced Manufacturing that'll house its technology and engineering programs and allow the college to customize training programs for employers looking to hire local workers for the manufacturing jobs of the future.
This is historic. This is not just another groundbreaking. The Institute is and will be a significant and very important economic force for the North Country.
Clinton Community was awarded more than $12.5 million in state money for the Tech Center, which is scheduled to open for the fall semester next year in 2017.
It was nice to have a ceremonial groundbreaking, but even nicer to see that we had to stop construction to do it, which, you know, it isn't just going to be sand going in the air off golden shovels and we wait for something to happen. It's happening, so that's a really good feeling.
Chamber of Commerce President Garry Douglas, who is also chair of the North Country Regional Economic Development Council, says it will show employers like Norsk Titanium, a Norwegian company eyeing the county airport for a state-of-the-art manufacturing plant, that the area will have job training programs in place to provide them with the skilled workforce they need to succeed.
And that's what makes this a particularly remarkable occasion for the North Country. It is a foundation for our economic dreams for the future, and those dreams are becoming a reality.
Hoping to give the area's manufacturing industry even more of a boost, U.S. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand is pushing legislation that will help manufacturers get federal money to invest in job training or developing sites.
What this program does is if you are designated to be one of these regional manufacturing hubs, you get priority for federal money.
While touring the Demers ambulance assembly plant in Plattsburgh last week, Gillibrand said the company and about 30 other transportation manufacturers in the area are good examples of the cluster the legislation would support. Her bill would also make it easier for rural areas to qualify.
One of the things we ran into were that the background criteria that were being used were really kind of playing against rural areas in terms of meeting certain thresholds. Senator has been very helpful in reforming that and making them understand, you know, it's not just the big metro cities that do manufacturing.
The program that set aside more than $1 billion runs through the end of the year. The bipartisan bill Gillibrand is backing would make it permanent. And Garry Douglas is here with us now. Good to see you. Welcome.
Good to see you. It's my pleasure.
When it opens next fall, what do you hope the Institute of Advanced Manufacturing will do for the region?
Well, it'll do more of what it's already doing. It really has infused excitement and awareness into what's happening here in the Plattsburgh region, the growth of manufacturing, new 21st century types of manufacturing, 3D printing and other things that are coming our way. It's going to brand the college is really a site for training in advanced manufacturing. It is, I'm fond of saying, you know, yes, it's a building. Everybody will focus on the fact that it's a building and we're breaking ground and we're going to watch the construction, and that's great. And the building will be a remarkable new tool in support of the industrial tech programs that Clinton Community College already has. It will allow those programs to become more flexible, larger, more responsive to what private companies need today and going forward. But it's more than that. It's a partnership. There are going to be a number of partners under that roof working with Clinton Community College. I think the most amazing one is Clarkson University. In effect, Clarkson is going to be here through that center offering programs, connecting students there with their faculty, and having a program being finalized where you'll be able to go to Clinton Community College for 2 years and then be able to go to Clarkson for 2 years. So it's about a whole lot more than just a new building with some expanded programs at Clinton Community College. And it's already, just the fact that it's happening, and we can say that it's happening, is already helping us on the economic development front. Make no mistake, it was a key factor in convincing Norsk Titanium that we could meet their workforce needs.
You mentioned Norsk. Norsk
Yes.
is a company from Norway that wants to come here within the next few months and build a plant to manufacture aerospace components made of titanium.
Their concept of what's going to take place here, and there's still some things to be finalized before the announcement in the near future, but we're very confident, will be the first industrial scale 3D printing factory of its kind in the world. Not the first in New York, not the first in the North Country, the first in the world. And the first place to deploy technology that Norsk has developed in Norway for the production of high-grade titanium aerospace components produced by 3D technology. So the whole world already is paying attention to what's going to be happening here, and they're going to be paying a lot more attention. Prospects are in the wings. Others want to be co-located here. Others want to come and now take seriously what we've been saying. Hey, Plattsburgh is a new emerging center for transportation equipment and aerospace technology. Well, now it's, wow, I guess you're right. You know, we want to come see this.
Norsk is talking about as many as 400 jobs.
Yes.
A lot of people are using the word transformational when it comes to this project.
They will be a very high-end manufacturer. They will be the employer of choice in terms of the kind of salaries and benefits when people see what they're going to be offering here. They're going to be a magnet for people from outside of our region and state to come here. A lot of very high-end employment requiring engineering skills and other sorts of technical skills. It's going to draw new people into the community. They're already recruiting nationally for management personnel, some of whom are here today looking at homes in the area. So it's going to have that effect as well. It's transformational in two ways. It's transformational to its own sector of aerospace, which means Plattsburgh is going to be part of transforming that sector globally by doing things this way to produce those components for companies like Boeing, like Airbus. But then it's going to be transformational to the economy of the North Country by continually taking our manufacturing base to the next level.
No timetable yet. A lot of the particulars haven't been revealed yet.
It'll unfold over the next couple of years because what the concept behind this isn't just throwing up a factory and putting some equipment in it, which you might do in a year. This is in effect building a campus of SUNY Polytechnic, of the Nanotechnology Center in Albany. I mean, that's one of the other aspects of this is that folks have said ever since Global Foundries and Albany Nanotech and all of that developed under Mario Como and then George Pataki, gee, wouldn't it be great if somehow we could figure out how to tap into that? Well, we did. This is being sponsored and the facility will be built by SUNY Polytechnic. It will be a campus of SUNY Polytechnic within which, as a tenant, there will be this titanium production facility.
There was $125 million in this year's budget for this project to move forward.
Has been appropriated.
SUNY Polytechnic, though, is under investigation right now down in Albany. Political favoritism, whether it's tied at all to a dormitory project. Nothing to do with this project up here, but
nothing to do with this project.
Are there concerns that it could some way affect it or delay it?
No, I think if we hadn't had the appropriation approved by the legislature, I think there might be concerns in terms of timing. But the money is there. The money was appropriated and was approved by the state legislature, so it isn't something that they're only commitments by the university. The commitments are very real, and everything we see so far is moving forward.
And no worries it could jeopardize it?
You always worry about anything until the earth is turned, but we feel very confident.
We heard a few minutes ago, Senator Gillibrand was here this past week announcing a bill that she hopes will give manufacturing hubs, communities like Plattsburgh, priority when it comes to federal funding. How big of a deal would it be for areas like Plattsburgh?
We will need support going forward. We're going to need support for workforce development, for example. And so anything that enhances our competitiveness for federal and state resources to take full advantage of the things that we're making happening here, is to the good. And that's really what this is about. It's about identifying those places that are emerging as real opportunities for manufacturing in the U.S., that you're going to prioritize those places to put federal investment.
Because in many cases, if you get manufacturers to come here, you have to help with the infrastructure.
Be careful what you ask for. You ask transportation equipment companies. We have 34 of them employing 8,100 people in the North Country today. Who would have thought that 20 years ago? And I'm not sure everybody understands what a large cluster that's already become. They know about Bombardier, they know about Novabus, they don't necessarily know about the other 32 companies.
You mentioned those numbers at the news conference with the senator the other day, 34 companies, 8,100 jobs. I think that would surprise a lot of people.
I'm sure it would. There's not, of the 7-county North Country region from here to Watertown, There is not a single county that doesn't have transportation equipment companies now, and that includes Hamilton County. Who would think Hamilton County? Hamilton County has a producer of high-tech audio equipment for Bombardier in Indian Lake, New York. So it's very much a regional cluster. The biggest part of the cluster is around Plattsburgh, but it actually is spread all across the 7 counties.
Does this year's budget include money for another round of economic development money, the competition?
Yes, it does.
That the regions have been participating in?
Work has begun on that. The consolidated funding application, the CFA grant process, is underway through the end of July.
About $500 million over 5 years for the North Country. It's had a huge impact in the North Country.
Yes, it has.
The Upstate Revitalization Initiative competition, that was between all 10 regions at the end of last year. It handed out 3 $500 million prizes. The North Country's proposal included $50 million to jumpstart the Laurentian aerospace project that would build a facility at the Plattsburgh airport and service jets, creating about 800 to 900 jobs. The North Country didn't win one of the prizes, but the governor did include $50 million in this year's budget for the regions that didn't win any of those top prizes. Have there been discussions about earmarking that money now for the Laurentian project?
We're not at that stage. We're still waiting for more guidance, probably by fall, on how that $50 million will work. We're told that it'll be over 5 years. It's not a single amount of money for a single project. On the other hand, the particular project you referenced is one that we continue to work with, continue to work actively with the governor's office on to find an alternative way to meet the requirements of the company to proceed that we put on the table last year. And let me say this about that. We have an absolute premier equity investor ready to do that project. We did last fall. The state's very much aware of the individual. It's very real, but there is a requirement for state co-investment in the project that's very well defined. URI would have been one way to do that. We're now trying to find another way to do that. But the project is alive. It's been challenged since we didn't win what we told the investor we thought we had a shot at. But that investor, to date at least, has stayed at the table.